What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Eric Ross, checking back in for another episode of Life After Debt podcast. Hey, let's just keep this thing going, man. I'm loving it. Last episode, I got the chance to interview my mom, and that episode was all about what did your parents teach you about money. I'm just dive a little bit more into that because it's really time to change. It's time to change our household. It's time to change. It's time to start a new family tradition with money. You know what I mean? Like let's change. Let's change. Like honestly, my parents ain't teach me nothing about money. They really didn't. So I mean, like my mom said, I watched her read books. I watched her grow her business from the basement up into a commercial building for the past 23 years. I got the hustle mentality from my mother. My mother said her grandmother was a absolute savvy saver. So clearly I must have got my saving habits. It must be in my genetics because I love to save money. But as far as raising up smart money kids, let's do that, man. Let's start having these, open discussions at the dinner table. Open discussions. Just lay it all out there with money. Let's start, teaching our kids how to, be money smart and live debt free before they ever have the chance to go into debt. I know if I didn't have to pay off that $54,000 of debt, I could have around $75,000 in the bank right now. That really is a crutch. That really puts you behind in the game, So let's lay it out there, and it all starts within the family. Schools aren't going to teach your kids about money. Schools aren't going to teach your kids about finances. Schools aren't going to teach your kids about credit card debt. None of that. I took some finance classes before. They never taught me how to build wealth. These finance classes, they want to teach you about the economy. They don't teach you about building wealth. So it all starts in the house. We really got to teach our kids what's going on, how's the money looking, and what are we doing to, progress more and more. Most people, parents teach them, stay out of trouble, don't do drugs, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work for 40 years, then retire. These 1950 traditions aren't going to be, they don't work. They're not going to work in 2020. They're not going to work in 2040. Our parents and grandparents, they could work for the same company for 40 years, retire, get a pension, and get Social Security. Social Security is going to be insolvent by 2032. You guys can Google that. I call it social insecurity. So, our generation, we cannot bank on Social Security to save us. Social Security, if we get any Social Security by the time we retire, just consider it icing on the cake. Consider it bonus money. That could be your restaurant food money or something like that. But really, it's really time for us, our generation, people in their 20s, 30s. It's time to start investing into your retirement. If you're around my age, your parents are probably close to retirement age. So let me ask you this question. Is your parents 100% debt free? Do they have at least $1 million saved up? Are they millionaires? Like I said, we only know what we're taught. And some people don't even know about their parents. I didn't know anything about my parents' money situation until, I got in tune with my finances and I started telling them what I'm doing and I started asking them about their current situation and their finances and stuff. A lot of people, parents are in debt. A lot of people, parents, still have car payments or leasing vehicles or, doing that. And kids are sponges. And like I said, we only know what we're taught. So it's like, if you see your parents doing this, you probably going to do the same thing unless you are going to be the one to change your family tree. And like I said, it's time to see the bigger picture. It's bigger than us. It's about our kids. It's about our kids' kids. It's about 5 generations from then when we're all going to be worth billions. So let's really sit down with our kids, lay it all out there, You know, at dinner, tell your kids you got, however much insurance. I'll talk about insurance, how much insurance you need, and what insurance is all about. But yes, you do need life insurance. GoFundMe is not an insurance policy. I really hate when I see people, GoFundMe to cover the funeral expenses. We need life insurance. But that's a whole nother episode, a whole nother topic. And but let's lay it all out there. Hey son, hey daughter, I got $500,000 of life insurance. It's gonna go to your mom. Mom's gonna pay off the house so y'all don't have to worry about a house payment. We got $100,000 set aside in that life insurance to pay for you guys' college tuition so you don't have to go on a student loan debt. Stuff like that. Tell your kids how much money you got saved up for retirement. One thing I do hate. It's sad. Some parents feel entitled. Oh, I raised you. Now, I took care of you. I watched, but now I'm old. I'm 70. I made poor decisions. I don't have any money saved up. I can't work no more because my health sucks. I'm sick. I need you to take care of me now. That is so selfish. That's selfish. Don't be a crutch to your children. You're already a crutch because we in, student loan debt, and now you want us to take care of your butt when you're 70. And let's not do that to our children. Let's be adults and let's stay adults and let's take care of what we need to take care of. Do what we got to do in our working careers so that we don't need to depend on our children to take care of us and, further dismantle their generational wealth building. On my Life After That _ podcast Instagram page, I posted my keys to building generational wealth. So it's 7 keys that I wrote down. Step 1, stop having kids out of wedlock and keep the family together. Multiple kids with multiple people complicate things. Now let's dive into that a little bit. Yeah, I know things don't work out all the time. Yeah, I know mistakes happen. But if you have multiple kids by multiple people, things really do get tricky. All of your kids may not be living with you. They may be soaking up information from different people, and you may not have, 100% say so that you could have if they lived in your home. And you just don't know what type of influences are going on in that child's life in that other household. 2, educate yourself financially. Understand what it takes to become a millionaire. Read books. Do the math. Talk to financial planners. Talk to people who are smart with money. Don't just talk to your broke friends with no money. Talk to people who are headed in the right direction. Educate yourself financially. If you're 20 years old, time is on your side. The younger you start, the better off you are. The less money you need to become a millionaire. If you're 20 years old, you invest $100 a month for 40 years, you will retire with $1.1 million. Boom. Boom. We spend $100 in a week on food. So if you can't save $100 a month, to invest in yourself for your future, for your kids, then that's a problem. It's time to really change your mindset. And that's why I'm really, that's the title of this episode, Changing Your Mindset, because that's what we got to do here. We got to change our mindset. If you're 30, you got to work a little harder. You don't have that luxury. Time it's still on your side because you're still young. You'll have to invest $300 a month to retire with $1 million. So you got 30 years. You invest $300 a month for 30 years. At age 30, by the time you're 60, you'll have $1 million. So, and then, so on and so forth and so forth. So if you're 40 and you're listening to this and you haven't started saving for retirement yet, you'll need to invest more than $300, more than $400 a month, because you got to catch up, buddy. You got to catch up. Number 3, get out of debt and stay as far away from it as possible. Now, let me tell you why I put this down as a key to building generational wealth. Debt robs from your future. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. Debt is not your friend. I know some people gonna disagree with me. Some people gonna be like, "Oh, you need that." All right, there's some people out there who is responsible with that and can handle that, and they wanna, get their airline miles, or they wanna get their reward points, all that good stuff. Look at it this way: most credit cards, they got a 1% reward. So let's look at it for a second. You spend $100,000 for them to reward you with $1,000. No millionaires getting wealthy off of credit cards or all this debt stuff. Some people do the real estate thing. They go into hundreds of $1,000s of debt, and they make $500 profit with their rental property. And they still got a very huge negative net worth. But in the long run, it can pay off. It can get tricky. But ladies and gentlemen, let's just keep it simple here. Get out of debt. Stay as far away from debt. Building generational wealth is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So don't do it. Just like I said, invest. This is a long-term game. Time is on your side. The average millionaire pays off their house in 10.2 years. We got people taking out 30-year mortgages. And like I said, time is on their side. The banks make money, the rule of 72, interest rate times time, compound interest, blase. You pay 30 years on your house. I want you to, if you got a house payment, do the math for me 1 second. Let's say you bought your house for $150,000, all right? And it's, 4.5 interest. And you got a 30-year mortgage, and your house payment on your $150,000 house is $900 a month. So you do $900 a month times 12, you're paying $10,800 a year for 30 years. So let's do 10,800 times 30. With that interest, you're paying over $300,000 for your $150,000. So, yeah, the banks they love when you take your time. They love when you take your time because you're gonna pay all that interest. You're paying almost double in interest. You're paying over double in interest. So it's the same when you're investing money. Time is on your side. You invest money. You invest that same house payment into the, stock market that's earning, invested into a mutual fund that's earning 12%. That same $10,000 a year at the 30 years will be over $1 million. They're only getting 4%. You getting 12%. So, but look, man, change your mindset. Stay as far away from debt as possible. Let's train these kids up. Let's train these kids up to, be debt free. Let me go back to my keys. Key number 4 to building generational wealth. Start saving money for your kids as soon as possible so that they don't have to go into debt for anything. But only after you're out of debt and after you've started investing for yourself. Major key, you need to be out of debt first before you start saving. Look at it this way. If you're in debt and you're saving, it's like fighting an uphill battle. It's like let's say you got a car payment but you're saving. It's like taking out a loan on your car just so you can save money. It don't make sense. Like, let's say you're completely debt free. Would you get a car payment just so you can save? No, you wouldn't. Don't do it. So as soon as you're debt free, as soon as you're 100% debt free, take care of clean up your mess first. Clean up your student loans, clean up your car payments. Boom. All that money that was going out, let's say you was spending $1,000 a month on student loans and, car payments. All that money's freed up now. Now you got $1,000 a month to save for your kids. Well, let's say you want to save 800 of that, and let's start paying $200 a month for your kids. Let's do some math. I love math. $200 a month. Let's say you debt free. Let's say you got a debt free baby like me. I paid off all my debt. I'm saving $500 a month for my son, and it's been earning 12%. At the end of that 18 years, I'll have $378,000 for my son to go to college, to buy vehicles, to give him a down payment on a home when he gets married. I mean, he's not getting married at 18, but that money will continue to grow and continue to grow and continue to grow. So, like I said, let's put our children in a predicament so that they don't have to go into debt for anything. That $378,000 is more than enough for him to go to any college he wants, but he won't be going to an expensive college, because that education is the same in any college. That degree, it don't matter what college you went to. The jobs don't care what college you went to. Let's be honest, they just care of the education that you have. So we're not going to spend $80,000 here for that degree that we could get for $20,000 stateside at a public college. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm not paying $80,000 because this school has a hot tub and world's greatest chef in their cafeteria. No, I can cook just fine. I'm gonna teach my son how to cook too. So I'm gonna change my son's mindset. My son is gonna start investing at age 18. He's not gonna get started as late as me. I started at 26 because I had to pay off debt. My mom started at 38 because she just didn't know no better. And then her grandmother never invested, so it was no generational wealth built there. But we will steadily progress. Health is wealth. Number 5, health is wealth. Take care of your body. What's the point of having money if you can't enjoy it? What's the point of having money if you're too sick? Take care of your body. Eat right. Work out. Go for a run. Go for a walk. Do what you got to do to live as great as a life that you can, to live as long as a life that you can. Health is wealth. If you always in the hospital, if you always paying hospital bills, that takes away from your wealth. That takes away from your wealth building. Number 6, Proverbs 13, verse 22. Man, this is my favorite Bible verse. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. A good man thinks generationally. Let's change our mindset. Let's start thinking generationally here. That's pretty self-explanatory. Number 7, teach and instill these same values and principles into your kids. Lead by example. So, conclusion, let's start teaching basic money skills to our kids, because like I said, they're not going to teach this to your kids in school. It starts within the family household. Sit down at dinner, lay it all out, tell your kids what a budget is. Let's teach kids how to budget from early on. Let's put our kids to work so that they can understand the basic fundamentals about money, So this is what I plan on doing with my son. I plan on giving him 3 envelopes. A give envelope, because I feel like giving money is important. A save envelope, because I feel like saving money is important. And an enjoy envelope, because I feel like enjoying your money as well is important. So what I plan on doing is giving my son, $5 a week for doing a set amount of chores. And he can put $2 in his save envelope. He can put $2 in his enjoy envelope. And he can put $1 in his give envelope. so that he can, learn how to save money, so that he can learn how to budget. If he wants a $10 toy, he'll know that he has to work for a month and a half to save up that money to be able to buy that toy. He's going to understand that money does not grow from trees. He's going to be, no, I'm not going to spoil my son. He's going to work for a lot of things. Who knows? I'm saying that now, but who knows? But yeah, I plan on, having him save up, a good amount of money, because it's been instilled with him from these early ages. He's been saving $5 since he was 2 years old. So, by the time he's 16 and it's time to purchase his first vehicle, I want to be impressed that, my son has $5,000 saved up at age 16, and I'm going to go half with him on a vehicle purchase. I'm going to tell my son, like, look, however much you got saved up, if you got $1,000 saved up, I'm going to match it, and we're going to get a $2,000 vehicle. So, and of course, put a limit on this, because you don't want to. Your 16-year-old doesn't need a $20,000 vehicle. So let's say I will match you on anything up to $5,000. So if you have $5,000 saved up, we can go to the car dealership, and we're gonna buy a $10,000 car paid for cash, and that'll be your first car. So like I say, no car payments, no debt. Take that off the table. Let's change our mindset about debt, because the key here is to build generational wealth. And, once you lay all the finances out, lay the budget out, teach your son, teach your daughter how to budget, show them your budget, show them your goals, ask them what their goals are, and, guide them, lead by example. Those are my 7 keys to building generational wealth. And if you feel as though I'm missing anything, DM me on Life After Debt _podcast Instagram. Let me know what I could change. But I think those 7 keys right there is all you need. Take care of your health. Stay as far away from debt. Teach your kids the same principles about money, because the schools aren't going to teach you. And make sure they teach your grandchildren the same stuff. And I promise you, this train is just going to keep going up and up and up and up. It's going to be scary in the year 2150. I know that's a long time from now, but oh my God, your family is going to be blessing the world. Like, broke people cannot help broke people. If you want to change the world, you got to change yourself first. You got to change your family second. You got to change those around you third. You feel me? But it all starts within. Fill up your cup, and then once it starts overflowing, you can start spilling those blessings onto the community of your liking, the charities of your liking. Hey man, you give. It's such an amazing feeling. I challenge you guys. Just next time a restaurant is open at this coronavirus, give the waitress a $100 tip, and just watch how good you feel. Just watch how good you feel. So imagine, once you build up all this generational wealth, once you build up all this wealth, and you're able to give $100,000 to whatever, it's gonna feel lovely. So teach your kids how to give, teach your kids how to save, and teach your kids how to enjoy money to buy things that they like. So yeah, man, thank you for tuning into another episode of Life After Debt podcast. Change your mindset. Let's all change our mindset. Share the podcast, like the podcast, comment, subscribe to the podcast, and let's keep sharing this information. Let's get it out to people. And thanks for tuning in. I'm out.